We thank you for joining. This is the Life is a Freestyle movement podcast, Freestyle Fridays. I'm Stubby Koss. And, what we're going to do today is we're going to have what we call 16 bars. Okay. So as part of this Freestyle Friday, what we're talking about is how freestyle applies to all aspects of life. Everybody has an element of freestyle within them. Nature comes with an element of freestyle to it. And the way life plays out for people happens to be kind of, you could say there's like some synchronicity to it or what have you, but there's definitely, it's not necessarily ordered and structured in a rigid way. So the organicness of it is what we're trying to encapsulate and put in a bottle so we can look at it and study it. So, and I want to thank you for all the people that are joining. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate all of the comments. And so we'll keep an eye on the comments to see. But so what we're going to do with this 16 bars is I'm going to ask 14 questions. And you'll have an opportunity to give 14 answers. And then towards the end, we'll have two more people in the chat asking questions that you can answer, accordingly as well. And it's all going to be essentially related to the concept of freestyle. So I'll go down the list and I'm just going to, kind of ask you some questions that kind of have to do with you specifically, your career, and, kind of the way you see things in the world. And then, you can choose to answer however you want to answer. If you want to answer, with some rhymes, you can answer with some rhymes. But if you want to just answer, it's really just about kind of understanding where you're coming from, because ultimately we capture this and we try to give people the opportunity to see like some of the best freestylers in the world think of freestyle this way. So how does that apply to you in your life, right? So here we go. So the first one, we talked about your name, Osyris Antham, and you have your IG as Maroon Water. So tell us more about how you call yourself, your nominal determination of Osiris. Is it linked? I'm assuming it's linked to ancient Egyptian mythology, but is there anything that you want to kind of flavor about how you named yourself?
I mean, ironically, it wasn't, when I created it, it wasn't tied to that at all. I was reading the book, The Da Vinci's Code, and in the book, they used anagrams to build the code. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So I took my birth name and I made an anagram of it. And the word that I came up with was Osyris Antham. And so I knew Osiris because of Egyptian, lore and whatnot. But other than that, it was just a random thing. You feel me? So Osiris sounded powerful at work. And so that's what I rocked with.
Dope. Bar number one right there. All right, here we go. So number two, you incorporate dance into your performances. I've seen a lot of videos of you having break dances and stuff like that, kind of either performing in front of you or to the side and the back. Can you elaborate on how beats, rhymes, and dance moves correlate to each other and how you kind of mix that into your performance?
Well, dance is physical rhyme in a way, or physical, or not even physical rhyme, but physical rapping in a way. When a dancer is hitting a groove, they hit it on that same beat, the same way that you catch that groove as a rapper. You feel me?
Interesting. I've
been in a spot, look at a lot, and the dancer is
right.
You feel me? And so that relationship is very powerful to me because you're getting that physical form plus the auditory form. A lot of the things that you see me do with dance were very much connected to a crew called Layer Rhythm. It's an event that happens in New York City every last Saturday, every last Tuesday of the month. Layer Rhythm is rocking out for 5 years now. And that was really my introduction to including dance into my performances. And so when I saw that, it sparked something for me. And I was like, yo, this needs to happen more often. And so that's definitely something I've been trying to include much more often. You feel me?
Right. That's dope. And I appreciate you being a leader in that space.
I just want to touch on that one extra thing.
Go ahead. With that. Definitely.
I remember when Missy Elliott accepted her Vanguard Award at the VMAs, I believe it was last year. And she said, dances are just as important. Dances should be at the forefront as well. And that was something that was very important that I thought she brought up. And that's something that I think is something I think about when I'm creating as well.
Right. You know what I mean? It's a lot of classic, televised stage performances either by rappers or other types of musicians where the dance routine was actually one of the more memorable things about it. You know what I'm saying? So I think if we can have more freedom for people to just like integrate new different types of expressions into their performances maybe at the same time, you know what I'm saying? So like I said, you being a leader in that space is definitely a good thing because you get people's eyes on this idea like, yo, this could coexist at the same time, like, and I could get kind of like this synesthesia of events, you know what I'm saying?
But you know what? And what's interesting in accordance with that is, so dancers have always been in hip hop videos, right? You've always had like the 8 girls in the back doing a dance routine while the rapper is rapping, but they were always treated as like dressing or setting on the stage.
Yeah, ornamentation.
Get the ornamentation. Excellent word. You got your vernaculars on point, by the way, bro.
Yeah. SOSA.
So you feel me? When you get to bring that to the forefront and you bring it at the same level, it takes it back to how hip hop started with breakdancing, rapping, spray painting. All of that was on the same level. You feel me? It was all creativity. It was all art in different spaces. You feel me?
Exactly. And
not just about the person that's on the mic. You dig?
That's correct. Yeah. True indeed. So the next one. So that was the third bar. I'm sorry, that was the second bar. The third bar. Yes. You have a lot of rhymes about deep Black history. You talk about the Haitian Revolution. You talk about a lot of like deeper stuff than like we normally talk about during, let's say, Black History Month. How important is Black history to you when it comes to being able to freestyle? And you can answer that in kind of whatever way that you envision that question.
You know what? That's an interesting question. You know why that's interesting? Because the first elite freestyle rapper I remember seeing as a kid was Asian, Jin, on 106 and Park.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, Freestyle Fridays, you know what I'm saying? Bringing it full circle.
Hell yeah. But as far as being Black, I don't know if I would connect freestyling directly to Black history for myself, but there's just the creation of hip hop and the creation of most of the music that we use as the avenue for how we enjoy music nowadays is from Blackness, is from Africanness. And when I think of myself having the ability to express in combination with rhythm, I feel like that's because of my lineage. You feel me? I feel like that's because of my lineage as a African person. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, that goes back to the griot, right? Having the ability to speak the history of the people, to the people. Exactly. Off memory. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you gotta
entire histories, like entire stories in their head.
And they had to be able to use it contextually too, right?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. With music sometimes, with rhythm.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, definitely. To the beat of the drum. So here we go. So number 5. You performed most of your end of the week, I believe, 19 competition blindfolded.
Yeah.
Do you feel MCs meaningfully use their accessories enough when they're performing?
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
I've seen, especially in competition with end of the week and just in general, I don't feel like enough artists tap into what they have the ability to tap into. Yeah. You know what I mean? When I did that blindfold performance, it was definitely something that I had to marinate and meditate on for a minute. I was worried. I'm going on stage blind. I've never been blind, and I was shook that I was going to mess it up. But as I went through my years in competition, I was able to grow to a point where I had turned over so many different stones that the next step was, okay, let me go blind. You feel me? If my first time trying to be creative, I was like, all right, let me go blind. It would have been a dub. I had spent so much time investing in trying to be as creative as possible that the blind was the next piece. And I feel like in general, a lot of artists don't spend enough time trying to push the levels of their creativity. And using what God gave them or whatever powers they have to really be able to push it and push the limits.
Superpowers.
Yeah, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. Like for instance, I've seen like at spoken word events here in LA, I've seen people do like live painting to go along with like spoken word, open mics and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And so during the course of the night, somebody will be like just painting based on what they're hearing the poets talk about. If there's like a recurring theme or what have you. So that's definitely something that not only painting, but just like getting a multifaceted entertainment experience that can actually give you something to kind of take away from the whole night or the whole joint or whatever. So definitely something.
Our lives are three-dimensional, bro. We live three-dimensional.
That's right.
And hip hop has been one way, not one way, but it's been a certain amount of ways for so long. Like there's always something that you can take out of your own personality to add to it that nobody's seen before.
That's right. That's right. Uniqueness is definitely, welcome, right, in the space. All right. So number 6, what is your take on graphic T-shirts? I believe 19 competition would have a deeper meaning.
That's an interesting question. I love graphic tees.
Yeah.
I got a Black Panther graphic tee. I got a Kobe graphic tee that I wear a lot. And as far as my performances, sometimes I'll wear something to like put out a certain message, but nothing crazy. I just love graphic tees. Is that something that you noticed like in my performances, like I was wearing graphic tees? Or
I mean, I feel like some of the tees you have might have like messages on them that are like a little bit more than just, a style, a little bit more than just like regular art. It might be like, hey, I'm trying to speak something to the people through like words or through like imagery or what have you, while you're also performing something that might even be related to slavery or might even be related to revolution or might even be related to like history or what have you. So it's just an interesting thing that I noticed.
My Asada shirt I love. I bought that at Afro Punk a couple of years ago, and just repping Asada.
Yeah,
she's dope.
Definitely. Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
I have a Nipsey Hussle shirt that a friend of mine made, Olivia Georgette. You can follow her and check her out. She's a great graphic artist, and she made that shirt for my Nipsey Hussle performance, and I love rocking that. Just repping the brother from your side. You dig?
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of T-shirts, I saw that you at one point you had a post on Instagram that was thanking your students because I believe you are a 6th and 7th grade teacher. Is that correct? You had your students make T-shirts to go along, and 8th. Yeah, you had your T-shirts to go along with the performance at end of the week. This most recent one. So can you talk about like what kind of themes that they had to kind of design to?
So what I did for my end of the week, the blindfold performance, was I took Nipsey Hussle's life. I wanted to honor Nipsey, and so I took the idea of him fighting the 7 deadly sins, and I wanted there to be the one sin that defeated him, despite him defeating the other 6, which is like a metaphor, like 6, like Crip. You feel me?
Okay. Yeah.
So you feel me? And so I asked my students. I was actually gonna try to get the shirts made at like some professional spot, but then the time was running down, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get everything done in time. And so I was like, yo, why don't I just ask my students in their art class to make the shirts? Yeah. And so they were down for it. I was like, yo, make whatever image you want to make of the 7 deadly sins, and all of them, they worked on the shirts over a weekend, and it was really special for me because I had my students involved in something that allowed me to travel the world, something that was very important to me. And so that was just really big. But the 7 deadly sins was the thing. And I loved that I got to have them involved in that.
Yeah. And what you did, and for the people who don't know, what you did is you had dancers along with you that had the shirts on, and they put multiple shirts on at a time, and they would do the dances, and they would take a shirt off and continue doing the dances.
Yeah.
And then take another shirt off. Yeah.
After Is Nipsey defeated a sin, that sin died, and then they would turn into another sin.
Oh, okay.
Another piece I got to add to that. So I got the concept because in the dancing world, they have this idea called 7 to Smoke, where a dancer will battle 7 dancers, and so there's a final winner. So I took the 7 to Smoke, 7 deadly sins.
Wow. Layers on layers. This is dope. This is very dope. All right. So that was question number 7. So number 8, and these are all bars, by the way. So I appreciate you going through, the answers, because this is gold.
Yeah, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. So what would you say? And this is kind of an off kilter question. What would you say is the bare minimum somebody needs to be free in their actions.
Bare
Like from a
minimum.
from a mental standpoint, like if they're gonna act on something and they're acting in order to maybe get themselves out of a situation that's unfavorable for them or what have you, how do they act in a way that's not restricted by maybe preconceived notions or limitations that they've self-imposed? How do they just unlock and be free? Because I'm asking you as a freestyler, because when you have these constraints that are placed upon you in these competitions or in these challenges that you do, which we'll talk about in a minute, you have these constraints that you have to break out of, or you have to find your way through. So like, what's the mechanism, I guess, for becoming free so that you can act in a way that is unconstrained or uninhibited, and just be more free with the way that you kind of execute?
I say a spark,
Mm-hmm.
a spark and drive. If a person has maximum willpower and maximum access to whatever resource, whatever maximum willpower is for them, and whatever maximum access to resources is for them, that's a person who can achieve whatever level of freedom regardless of their situation. When you relate it to freestyle, spark and experience. A spark and experience. That's the two pieces.
A spark and experience. Okay.
And the reason I say that is because if you want to relate it to freestyling, I became the best freestyle rapper I could be because I had to have a spark in me for me to want to do it, for me to get in that car and drive down that road. Had to have the same spark in me to be like, yo, I'm driving down this road no matter what. But then I also had to have the experience driving down that road so that every time I went around that lap, I knew what was where, and I was able to maximize my resources. The way I freestyled in 2013 is steps below the way I freestyle in 2020 because I did it so much. I know how to access different resources, and those resources are always going to be there for me. You feel me? And so if you want to relate that to somebody in a situation, like whether they locked up or whether they're paralyzed from the waist down, or whether they're in their crib because of coronavirus, maximum willpower and just maximum resources. So whatever it is that you need, for a fact you can get it, and you're gonna have the drive to go get it. That's my opinion. You dig?
I feel it. You got to believe in yourself that you can get that thing that you're going for, and that's going to help drive you in that direction.
Yeah, that the drive is 80%, but you still have to have access. You have to have some type of access.
That's true. That's very true. Very true.
Yeah, I mean,
that is definitely a bar. All right, so check it out. Next question. We're at number 9, I believe now. So, in your profile, it mentions that you're a basketball coach. Is that true?
Yeah, for my middle school kids, I teach them hip hop and poetry, and I coach basketball for them.
Nice. Okay, so as a basketball coach, how do you feel about the move by the NBA to start live streaming NBA 2K20 game competitions as opposed to kind of their continuing of actual games, in stadiums? Because a lot of what they're doing right now is they're doing basically these like simulations of the rest of the NBA schedule for the season. And they're just showing that on like Twitch or whatever other video game streaming networks that they have.
I think it would be better if they had players with personality or players that people want to watch. Nobody wants to see Kevin Durant versus whoever saying 3 words every 20 minutes. Like, give cats with personality. Cats is shit.
Like Patrick Beverly.
Like Patrick Beverly. I do not like Patrick Beverly, but I kind of fake like him now just because he was the only person on that joint who had personality, bro. Like, Nobody wants to watch like that boring shit, bro.
You gotta talk that smack, man. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta talk your shit. Need somebody to be talking shit, bro.
That's right. So the next question is to get back to the difference between, or let's do it like this. What was your motivation behind the 6-foot bar challenge and any other challenges that you've done since then?
My motivation for creating a 6-foot bar challenge was me just loving rap. I love rap. I love to see people putting in work, and I love competition, right? And so I'm not in a competition, but if I can create one for people and then they can go hard and get something out of it, then that's a beautiful thing. And so I love rap. And if you've seen, you know, either volume 1 or volume 2 or all of it, like Cats was really, really rapping
It
like
was going in,
bars. You feel me?
Yeah.
You see my man Benji with the music videos, like, you feel me? And so that's the results that you see are the reason I created it.
Yeah.
Basically.
You build it, they come.
Yeah. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
okay.
It's out of the love. It's out of the love. Like, I
Right.
love this rap shit, and there's other people that love it as well. So if I got resources to help you express your love for it, boom, let's get it.
Yeah. All right. So we down to the final 4 that I'm gonna ask. Now, before we continue, I just want to make sure that everybody in the chat knows that this is a 16 bar kind of, you know, challenge, if you will, for Freestyle Friday that we have here on Life is a Freestyle, right?
Yeah.
14 of these bars that Osiris is spitting to us.
I'm still here.
Yeah, 14 of these bars are asked by me. The last 2 are gonna be asked by y'all. So y'all hit the comment or the question button if there's a question button in your live. Make sure that you you know, prep some questions because we're gonna get Osiris to answer your questions at the end. All right. So I got 4 more questions, and then it's up to y'all to ask the last 2. All right. So here we go. To continue on, Osiris, with the statement that you just made, do you think hip hop culture is doing at large is doing a good job of keeping people's spirits up right now and creating community during this, like, everybody staying in the house kind of time?
Yeah. I mean, I wanna preface this, you know, not to make any assumptions. I know often when we're in certain spaces where we're talking about, like, you know, how hip hop really works, how the craft really works. Sometimes, you know, we're in spaces where people aren't really a big fan of, like, mainstream. But, like, you know, Tory Lanez, like, I'm not saying that, you know, all that twerking stuff. I'm not saying anything about that. All I'm saying is, like, Tory Lanez being a hip hop artist, creating something that's gonna make people enjoy it, make people get on there and have a good time. As a hip hop artist, is hip hop doing something for people during this time?
Yes.
The slew of people that created challenges on the underground, on the mainstream level, that's hip hop providing stuff for people to get through this time.
That's true. Very
you
true.
know, Drake creating that little fabricated #1 hit that he just made. I love Drake, but that was a fabricated #1 hit. That was him making a fake effort to, like, you know, make people have a good time during this time.
Right.
So I think by and large, hip hop's nature is to soothe people and to give people something to. It's in its nature, and hip hop is just so large now. Everybody in hip hop being in their nature is just naturally going to be like a little incubator for us to feel a little better about ourselves.
Dope. All right. So 3 more questions. This is question number 12. Do you see any areas of the culture that have not been activated yet in hip hop or in Black culture as it pertains to, like, us kind of being connected through social media? Or are there any gaps in coverage, maybe things that we haven't actually kind of done yet that we could do because of the technology that we have available to us, but we just haven't capitalized on it? We haven't cornered that aspect because, you know, this whole thing with COVID-19 has actually gotten a lot more people to watch lives on Instagram, to start lives of their own. We got the DJ battles that's been going on. We got a lot of new, a lot of new things that are coming up, whether it's in hip hop culture and Black culture and, like, social media culture, that are happening now because everybody's on lockdown, all these dance moves, all these, like, kind of challenges. Is there any gap in the coverage of what we're doing right now as a response to having to be in the house as it pertains to the online kind of presence of our cultures?
I think it's still early.
Okay.
You know, but the potential for there to be a lack of coverage is always going to be there. Because unfortunately, the cream always rises to the top, and people are always going to want to cover what's popular or semi-popular. So people doing stuff on the ground, like, you know, there are people, like, I know a homie who has this group on Facebook called Steal This, where everybody's in there making all kind of music. People are just throwing music into the group. Somebody else will hop on the music, and then more people would just create. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's something that is actually one of my favorite things that's come out of this whole situation. But who knows if that's going to get covered? Who knows if that's going to make like a, a complex article or whatever. So I think it's always going to be, it's the nature. People are always going to be doing fly shit on the underground scene. That's not going to get covered.
Okay, so for the underground rappers who are watching this, can they be a part of that Facebook group? How does that work? So what's it called again?
It's called Steal This with like 4 exclamation points. It's literally called Steal This.
Okay.
That's what the group is called. Yeah.
And people just jumping on beats and just killing.
Whatever. It's called Steal This for a reason, because people are creating and they're like, yo, take this and do something with it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So for all you rappers out there that need something to do,
yeah,
you hungry and you're trying to like just get on some stuff and be a part of it with a collective of people, Steal This with 4 exclamation points on Facebook is a group that is doing some things that you might have some fun with. So go check that out.
6-foot bar challenge too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 6-foot bar challenge.
Volume 3 is coming soon, so hop in that. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bread on the line. Boom.
Yeah. All right, cool. So stay tuned to that as well on Maroon Water's IG channel. And is there any other place we can get into like the more social media stuff, the affiliate following and stuff like that. But like, so I'm gonna just get to the last couple questions here, and then we're gonna get to the last 2 questions from the people in the chat. So, are there any unique COVID-19 or lockdown stories from regions of the country or regions of the world that you've been keeping an eye on that aren't getting enough attention?
That's a good question. Damn. Unique stories that aren't getting enough attention.
Yeah, and if you don't have anything, it's cool. We can move to the next one because, like, I'm just really trying to make sure that what we're talking about, and we've been, really keeping this on topic with the whole, lockdown situation up to this point anyway. So we don't necessarily have to hit that question if it's nothing off the top of your head, but.
No, something I'll toss in. I mean, I have a homie who lives in China, lives in Beijing, CJan, and I've been kind of using what's going on in his town as a barometer for what the potential near future is going to look like for us, because they were ahead of us.
Got it.
Today he told me that restaurants and bars are back open. They're not allowed to have events anymore, and they're not having any new cases really in Beijing. So those are like some things to kind of give us maybe some hope for like the near future. So I'd say that's definitely relevant.
Okay.
Like we might be a month away from, maybe going out, maybe 2 months away. I'm not a scientist, but we might be closer than we anticipate to going outside, maybe at staggered hours. Maybe you won't be able to have large groups, but we might have some fake normalcy that might pop up soon.
It'll be interesting to see what normalcy actually will look like when it's all said and done, because a lot of people are once bitten, twice shy. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be stepping outside like for the first time in a new world, because it's like, yo, there's possibilities out here that we never considered before. So
I mean,
what do we do about that?
All levels of intimacy are gonna be different. You know what I mean? From
definitely
how you say hello to people, how you hang out with people, how you party when we eventually get to start partying again, how you party.
Right.
I'm Caribbean, and we have carnival everywhere throughout the world. You feel me? And so carnival is a whole bunch of people,
a lot of people
naked in one space, and so it's like that whole concept is gonna be different. You know what I mean?
It is. It is.
It's gonna be. Yeah,
we gotta get our immune systems proper. That's definitely for sure. Right. So last question. This is from me. This is bar number 14. Have you come across any interesting situational word associations during these lockdown freestyle sessions you've seen and or participated in? Like has anybody rhymed COVID with something crazy, or like coronavirus or whatever? Like, not even that, just like anything that just like weirdly came out of this whole situation.
Anything weird, word association. Nah, I just, not to like, it's not really a plug, but I think some of the challenges that I've seen, especially some of the verses that I've seen people drop, like in the 6-foot bar challenge, have been really dope. Like people just like dropping some quotes, some shit to really make you think.
Right.
And I would say that's the best part. Nothing that's like crazy that I could think of off the top. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's all good. It's all good. I mean, it's definitely a lot of verses that people have been putting out about what's going on right now, and that's important because, you know, one of the things that we talk about in SOSA is, and shout out to Lupe Fiasco, IT. One of the things we talk about in SOSA is, you know, how arts reflect what's going on in times of pandemic or in times of, you know, massive social upheaval and things like that, and how, you know, as artists, we're kind of like time stamping what's really going on right now as time kind of goes on. So it's interesting to see that people are making these bars about what they can and can't do, or how they're seeing things, or, you know, even the challenges themselves, and the fact that we're even doing these things on you know, social media, you know, sharing screens and having these kind of like, you know, video conferences and stuff like this. All of this is kind of, you know, cementing into history what's going on right now. And we're going to be able to go back and look at all of this stuff in 5-10 years, hopefully, and laugh. But, you know, I mean, the artists, you know, are definitely doing a lot of the heavy lifting right now to get people kind of able to see what's happening from different perspectives, because it's not just being at home. Some people are out of jobs. Some people are, they don't know what they're going to do when this is all over. You know what I'm saying? Some people are actually going to lose their jobs forever because of, you know, companies being afraid that, you know, automation is going to take their job away. So like, there's a lot of that's coming through the arts right now. So that's definitely cool to see it happening.
And to take it back to your earlier point about the griots, this is our time to represent. We're supposed to timestamp. We're supposed to make people listen back to those stories and be like, oh damn, that's what was going on at that time. You feel me?
Right.
So I think if hip hop does fail anywhere in representation of this time, in your previous question, it would be like if people drop albums over the next year or two and nobody's talking about the effects of coronavirus. To me, that would be problematic, so to speak, because you're not allowing people to reflect on the time. You feel me? You're not allowing people to have a catharsis about what's happening, and that catharsis is necessary.
Yes, it is.
It's necessary for us to talk about what's going on. It's human.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Very important. That's how we acculturate ourselves, right?
Word.
All right. So I'm gonna kick it down. That was 14 bars from Osiris.
Yes,
we got 2 more to finish up the Freestyle Fridays, right? So for everybody that's in the chat, does anybody have any questions about coronavirus as it pertains to hip hop, about lockdown, about freestyling, about the next opportunity to jump into one of these challenges? Anything that people have questions for, we could definitely come up with something from people in the chat, because we got some people in here now. So let's see. We got from Doc Mofo. This is Doc IT. When you freestyle, what is your thinking most and least like? Writing, playing basketball, teaching, dancing?
My freestyle thinking is most like I would say writing and dancing.
Yeah.
Because I kind of dance a little bit when I'm freestyling.
Yeah. Okay.
And I really try to take from, like, I got a lot of pop culture in my head, a lot of history in my head, and a lot of just like whatever is going on in front of me. I like to just put all of it together into how I'm freestyling. So I say I'm dancing around while I'm writing in my head.
Nice. Yeah. And Lady Zay says, IT says, if you could collab with any artist, who would it be?
I feel like, considering y'all, this is a setup. Like, there's only one answer I could really say. My favorite rapper of all time. Absolutely Lupe. You feel me?
Okay.
I mean, there's other artists I would love to collaborate with, but Lupe is high on that list for sure.
Definitely. So 92892 asked about your name, and that's something we mentioned at the beginning. You said it's kind of like an anagram from your
anagram of my real name.
Yeah. So that's dope. And then so I guess those are the last 2 questions. That's 16 bars. If you want to go and keep going with this, we can. Let's see. We got.
Oh, I didn't say. Okay. I mean, it's your show. I know a couple of people.
No. I mean, if you see something that you want to answer, let's go.
Have I ever been stumped while I was freestyling?
Mm.
Yes. I think a very important thing when you're freestyling is to not be afraid of being stumped. Sometimes I stumble over
Right.
words. Sometimes I get stumped. Sometimes I lose what my thought process is, but then
Mm-hmm.
I just jump right back into it. And
Right.
once you're not afraid of that,
Mm-hmm.
then life could be a lot easier.
Yeah,
And
and that
then maybe,
applies. That sounds like that applies to life in general, right? Like, I mean,
yeah,
you can't be afraid to fail. You can't be afraid to make a mistake because life keeps going. Life,
yeah,
like,
hell yeah,
as long as you're not making a fatal mistake, you know what I'm saying? You can recover from it, and you just got to keep going, keep pushing, because there's beauty to be found out of the mistakes that were made because you learn from it, and then you can adapt. So
true
it's
indeed.
definitely important.
And I just
Um,
wanted to answer the second part of Lady Zay's question. I didn't say
yeah.
why. Well, I mean, Lupe is I think one of the influencers of my style,
Uh-huh.
and he was the first rapper who I was really mind blown by
Mm.
when I was younger, and I was hearing these concepts. If you're a Lupe fan, you've had these,
Yeah,
you know
as
how it
many of us,
goes.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, because of that, because I consider him to be like kind of a godfather to my style,
Mm.
I would love to just be on a track with him
Hmm.
doing what he does, and then me having to be in the zone. Like, I bet. What's the most crazy shit I could write to keep up with son, or maybe even
Right.
body him if I can? Not saying
Wow.
I'll be able to, but
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
mindset. Like, yo,
Yeah,
damn,
you
let me
gotta
really
you
get
gotta
it
be
in.
a,
You feel
a
me?
hyena, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. Just for the sport of it, because you could tell, he does it. He loves it for the sport, and
Right.
for all the people that just love the sport of just crafting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
why.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we gonna put a pin in that right there. I
Yeah, yeah.
appreciate Osiris coming through to speak to us. Can you tell the people where they can find you on social media or around the web?
Well, shit. Maroon Waters, of course.
Yep.
Osiris Anthem on SoundCloud, on YouTube, on Bandcamp. If you are
Okay.
not familiar with my music, I do have my Bandcamp, my album. I mean, not my
Yeah.
album, my mixtape,
Okay.
the Purple Color Theory. It's
Uh-huh.
in my bio on
Okay.
IG. But
Okay.
Osiris Anthem everywhere else. I type it so y'all see what it looks like. Osiris Anthem.
Yeah, check out the chat, y'all. And yeah, let's not forget about Bandcamp. I feel like Bandcamp gets slept on when we talk about these streaming platforms a lot of times. We talk about Tidal and Spotify and some people say Pandora and stuff like that. But like,
Hmm.
Bandcamp is definitely a good spot, man. Like it's some heat that's being released
Yo,
over there.
bro, I made a little change off my project that I don't think I would have made on other platforms, and
Hmm.
I definitely appreciate Bandcamp for that.
Yeah, definitely. All
Yeah,
right. And you said you might have another 6 foot bar challenge coming up, volume 3, you said?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you have time on that? Or?
Um, Usually I do it like every 2 weeks, or at
Okay.
least every month, because that's when I get paid, so I can pay y'all if y'all win. But I
Yeah.
see. I get excited about it when I see people just going crazy, and it makes me
Hmm.
want to drop a new one as soon as possible. But I don't
Right.
got a real time stamp on it. Just follow me, and you'll see it pop up. And
Yeah.
anybody can jump in. It's always gonna be creative. I'm always gonna have new judges, and it's always gonna be something that's gonna make you like have to step out of rapping and writing in one specific way.
One specific way that's very important. Ladies AIT had a nice question. I don't know if we could I don't know if we can hit that right away, but there are definitely friends of Sosa that we know of. And then, but I don't want to talk too much about that because I'm gonna let the mouthpiece of the whole crew speak to that as necessary.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but again, once again, I want to appreciate you, Osiris Anthem, for coming on and blessing us with 16 bars plus on this Freestyle Friday. Um, Everybody go follow Osiris Anthem at Maroon Waters on IG and check them
Hmm.
out. Check out the 6 foot bar challenge if you can, all the past ones, so that you can get ready for the next one that's coming up.
Hmm.
And if you have any last words, let the people know what you got to say.
Boom. First of all, I appreciate you for doing your homework. You are
Yes,
dedicated to your interviewee craft. You're putting Barbara
thank you.
Walters on her heels. You feel me? So I appreciate the details that you came with. I
Yeah.
thank you and to your SOSA sistren and
Hmm.
brethren for
Hmm.
not only putting me through to this, but also, you know, promoting it. That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Number three, I do want to make a shout out to End of the Week. End of the
Mm-hmm.
Week is definitely, you know, that's where Lupe, you know, that's where I met Lupe at,
Yeah.
of course, but also End of the Week is the reason why I was able to travel around the world with hip hop. You know what I mean? The
Okay.
first time I ever went to Europe was through End of the Week. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
lot of the reps that I have in hip hop is because End of the Week. And so I definitely want to make sure that we shout them out. Follow EODUB, Dub on Instagram.
That's right.
Our 20th anniversary is this year. It's been around for
Mm-hmm.
20 years.
Wow.
And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
definitely check for that. You know what
And
I'm saying?
let's not forget, Osiris Anthem is actually the 2017 and 2018 world champion of End of the Week. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you want to see him rap blindfolded for the 2019 EO Dub world was it the World Finals?
No, that was the U.S. Finals.
That was the US Finals. All right. So
That's the
y'all
one that Lupe judged.
Oh, okay. There it is. So if y'all
Yeah.
want to see that one, check it out I believe it's on YouTube, right?
Yup, it's on YouTube. It's definitely on YouTube. If you check Isakari, he has it up there.
Okay.
But if you just type in End of the Week 2019 U.S. Finals, you'll
Yeah.
see it up there. Word.
Bet.
And
All
shout
right.
out, I just one more shout out to all of the homies that came into this live. You know, I got
Yes.
mad love for y'all. I appreciate y'all for showing love. And to all the
Yeah.
new people that I never met before, I appreciate y'all for showing love. Shout out to your whole team. Brother, if you need anything, please holler at me. We on 2 different coasts, but you know,
Yeah.
we can figure it out.
We will figure it out. I appreciate you coming through, and that's going to be a wrap for our Freestyle Friday for this April 17th of 2020. We will see y'all next time. Peace, everybody, and thanks for joining. All right? Yeah. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.